good morning. I love that the light turns red and I know when you're on. It's the best. Happy Friday. It's Memorial Weekend this weekend, so I'm sure everyone's getting ready for, trips. I know I am.
I know you are.
Are you going anywhere?
I'm going to Palm Springs this weekend.
Like, everyone's leaving. So, Anyway, I'm Kelly, as hopefully you know by now, because every week you're watching, right? Thank you for joining us. Today we're going to be actually talking about nothing too serious, more fun, and that's why we're drinking mimosas, because today we're going to talk about company culture and team bonding, and at least some things that we do, or things that I think are a really good idea to do with your team if you're having a small company. Like, we've got a small company, about 10 of us, so I can't really speak to large companies and what they do, but I have some clients and some friends who work for large companies who have a lot of fun together, so maybe we'll talk about some of those examples. This is Lindsay.
Hi.
You've seen her before. She's been on with me. You've seen everyone before because she's been on too. This is Sarah.
Hello.
So Sarah is observing Ramadan, which is why she doesn't have a mimosa. Poor Sarah.
I'm okay.
But she loves it. She loves it. It's a lifelong thing.
Yeah.
We try to support her, but
Well, they brought in bagels yesterday, and it was really hard, but I survived, so I'm all right.
my fault because I wanted bagels, and I was like, just someone bring in bagels. And you know what's funny is I almost texted you to do it.
Really? Oh my God.
Because I did a group text. And I almost included you, and I just did Sarah. I did Drea and Kat, and then one of them chimed in, I thought about that later, by the way, not at the time. I was like, oh God, thank God I didn't ask Sarah. That would be so mean of me. So anyway, back to today's programmed material. Okay, I wrote this blog. For those of you that don't know, I actually have my hands in like a few pots. One of them is Get Community. That's like the big pot. Yay! But I also write a blog for Old Town Orange. It's called I Heart Old Town Orange, and that's kind of like my first baby, actually, before I even started this company with Ryan. It's all about Old Town Orange. If you're not following, you should, which is, I point that way because it's right there. We're basically in Old Town Orange. So that is a big social media, online blog, newsletter. It's its own little thing, and it's everything Old Town Orange because it's a great little spot to come hang out. If you haven't done that, you should. But I also write another blog, which I don't really write anymore. I have an intern who I love, and I always work with Chapman students. And
shout out to Marshall.
Shout out to Marshall, because he does, if you're following iHeart's Instagram, you're in heaven, because he does such a good job. So I have that, but then I write a blog called workwifemom.com because I own a business. I have been married for almost 18 years, and I have 2 kids, so I feel like I got a lot of, balls in the air, and I have a lot to say. So workwifemom.com, which you should check out. I wrote this blog about 5 simple ways you can bring your team together. And so I thought that would be a good topic for today because I don't know why, because it's Memorial Weekend. It was a good reason to have some champagne this morning. We have kind of a skeleton crew because literally everyone's traveling. I'm getting on a plane in a couple of hours. Several people aren't here because they're on their way somewhere. One of them's going to Hawaii. I'm going to New York, which I have no complaints here, but I love Hawaii. Kat's probably on the plane right now. I don't know.
Oh.
She was traveling all day, whatever. So I'm going to give you a few tips, and then we'll just kind of talk about them. We won't keep you here too long, maybe like 10, 15 minutes. We're going to be in and out this morning because we've got a lot to do before we head out on vacation. So here we go. One thing that we do that I really like, and this has evolved over the years, is that we bring in lunch every Friday. I'll be honest, we don't always eat together, even though we bring it in. It kind of depends on the schedule. I know most days we're all eating at our desks and just kind of powering through the day, which they're totally welcome to take lunch breaks. They know that. I know that. It's totally legit what we're doing here. But they like to eat at their desks, so they do. But I used to bring lunch in, we'd order in for the whole team, and then we started doing where everybody had to take a turn bringing in lunch. So if you have a small staff, this is totally doable. And my mom used to do this at her company. She's the one that told me I should do it. And I was like, I don't think so. And then I was like, I'm going to do it. So it has been fun. So every Friday we have a rotation. Someone brings in lunch. We pay for the ingredients. They have to do the cooking themselves and the preparations. And it's so fun to see what everybody brings. And a lot of times we do sit right around this table and we all eat together, which is really great for team bonding. But even if we don't, I think it feels team bonding because it's like you can appreciate that someone brought you lunch today and you still talk about it, and we get to experience everyone's, food preferences, which is fun.
And I think it's nice because we are such a small bunch of people, so when we actually sit together, it feels like a family,
Yeah, totally.
lunch, so it's nice.
Yeah, it really is nice. And then if we don't bring in, usually we do depending on birthday schedules, we'll go out once a month or once every 2 months, depending on how that flies. Like next week, we're all going to Golden Road. Yay! It's not anyone's birthday, but it's been a while, and everyone needs to go to Golden Road. It's amazing. So we're going to go have lunch there on June 1st. Is that next Friday?
I won't be here because I'll be in London.
She'll be in London, and we will give a toast to her with our Golden Road cruise and be like, here's to Sarah. We can't wait till you're back on Monday. So that's one thing we do that I think is really, really fun, and it's pretty low budget. Either way you look at it, it's not a huge expense, so it's an inexpensive way to get everyone together for a tiny bit of time. Okay, so the second one, which we kind of talked about that I had written about, is just bringing something in for the team. Like if you're the boss, or if you have people who you've given credit cards to in your company, if you trust them, why not? Then let them have the liberty, or for yourself, to sometime bring in bagels, or go to Rekindle over here and get the best cookies on earth. Some 3 o'clock cookie. Who's not happy about that, right? So Rekindle is the bomb. But just bring in cookies, bagels, have mimosas once in a while if you're a company like us, which we honestly never do this. We don't even have wind down Fridays ever. We used to 5 years ago. We gotta get back to that. We're just really busy. It's hard to drink at work. It's not like it used to be. We're not the Mad Men crew. But I do sort of wish that I got to live in that era.
Sometimes I do too.
It kind of seems like it's just a totally different world. I don't know. A good one to experience. Yeah. So that's a good thing to do. That just kind of makes everyone happy. I think it definitely is a fun team bonding thing. So the third one, which is totally off on a different way, is as an owner or a manager, is to spend individual time with your team if you can do it. And even in a large company, this is doable because there's so many levels of management. Everyone has teams. But just to be able to spend a little bit of time, once a month, once every couple of months, when you can, your people, my people, at least I know, most people like to have that one-on-one. It's very hard to get with a manager. I haven't always owned a business. I've worked for, other people for a long time before that. And so I felt like I got that individual time at, the last job I was at, and it was great because I learned so much. There's so much to mentoring. And that is just a really great way to stay really connected with your team. I don't know how you guys feel about it. Chime on in.
I definitely like it because it's a way to, I guess, catch up with you because we don't necessarily spend enough time together because we do work in different parts of this house. But it's nice because if I do feel like I need some sort of feedback from your end, then you have that opportunity to give it to me. And then also it's just a way to, figure out what next step you have to take.
Yeah.
At work. And
definitely.
I like it.
Yeah. What about you?
Well, and it's good if you have, ideas you want to talk about.
Yeah.
And I like, feedback too, because I do a lot of the writing, and I just want to make sure everything's up to par, where it needs to be. So yeah, I think that's a really awesome thing that we do is the
Yeah.
private.
Yeah, I like it
one-on-one
too.
mental
I feel like
health.
half the time we end up like brainstorming something.
Yeah.
Some
Mhm.
new.
It's a way to get new things
Yeah.
kicked off and to keep your team like, you know, evolving and to make sure that you know, like that you know, as a boss, know or manager what your people want, like
Mhm.
where they want to go. You gotta, I feel like you need to stay in check with that. The more that you can do that, the better your people can become, the more educated, the more opportunity to experience new things. That kind of stuff, even if it's just 30 minutes once a month, it makes a difference for everybody, if you ask me.
Yeah.
And it makes you feel like, you know, like your friends. And I think that's important. Not everyone feels that way
Mhm.
in companies, that you shouldn't be friends with your employees or that your employees shouldn't be friends. Like, these girls are friends. And I love
Yeah.
that. That's the kind of company I want to have. And I want to be friends with my clients. I am not I think we should be friends. And we should be able to tell everybody everything. Like, if you got a problem with me, tell me. If you don't want to work with me anymore, I will still be your friend. Okay? I promise you. Unless you really hate me, then then fine. We don't have to be friends. But then why are you working with me? I mean, that is a question. If you don't like me. So, anyway, that was a... Okay. So number 4, and we need to do more of this. I got this idea. I got to give a shout out to my friend Jasvina, who's probably not watching this Facebook Live, but if you are, like someone said, Kelly talked about you in her Facebook Live, then you should come watch this, because Jasvina works at P11, and they're an amazing company. Their office is super cool, and they do a lot of fun team bonding things. And I don't know if it's a lot, but it's enough, if you ask me, to keep a team like feeling good about each other. They do so much fun stuff. But she had told me that sometimes they just pick random prizes for people because. And I was like, oh, I love that. So we literally bought like a spinning wheel, which we use for more events than we use for ourselves anymore. But it has everyone's names on it. Like, this is kind of a fun thing. I swear, we need to do this more often, because I have tons of gift cards, and you just spin the wheel, and whoever's name it lands on, they get to pick a goodie bag out. I mean, it's like 3 o'clock Friday. Who doesn't want to win a gift card? That's fun. And if it's really quiet in the office, that might be a really good thing to do too. We need to liven this place up a little bit. We need a little more going on. I don't know, like something along those lines.
Yeah.
And it could be a $5 Starbucks. It doesn't have to be like expensive ones. I think it's nice to throw a big one in there, just in case. And then a bunch of $5 ones. Whatever, cup of coffee makes people happy. I'm in. And then my last one that I had written about, and I'll post the link to this blog in the Facebook Live, is, and I think this was fun, that we can all talk about this for a second, is that I had my whole team take the 5 love languages quiz.
Oh yeah.
So I read the
That was
book,
interesting.
and I don't think everybody has probably, they haven't read the book on the staff, but if you go to the 5 lovelanguages.com, first of all, you should read the book, whether you're married, whether you're in a relationship, because it literally applies to every relationship, whether that's, a partner or a friend. Like, it applies to every relationship you have. And it applies to you, and just knowing who you as a person are and what is your love language. Lori Lee, okay, so I just want to say, Lori, hello! I hope you're still on, because she's one of my clients. She's in Hawaii. Catherine is actually flying to Hawaii right now. Anyway, we miss working with you, Lori. It's nice to see you on Facebook Live. I'm amazed with you right now. Good job. So anyway, taking the 5 love languages, like I read it, and then my husband read it, and then I followed this gal Marie Forleo, and she's like, I make all my employees take the 5 love languages quiz, because then you, as a boss or a manager, you know like what language your people speak. And this, like, the love languages, things like,
what are
on the spot?
What are all
There's
the
5.
Yeah. Receiving gifts.
Receiving
Words
gifts.
of affirmation.
Quality
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 time.
Touch, the touch one.
Oh, physical touch.
Physical touch.
Yeah.
And then
Words of affirmation.
that was
That's one of them
Oh,
too. So we got at least 4 of them. Deeds, like doing deeds.
deeds. Yeah.
Yes.
Acts of service.
Acts of service. I should know that one. That is my love language. I mean, if you want to like make me happy, do the dishes.
Yours was quality
You know?
time.
Mine was quality time.
She's most of the staff quality,
quality time.
which is good to know because for me that's like, and I have written this down for every one of my employees. I know what their love language is. I'm gonna decline that call right now. But it's good to know if they like quality time. It's like one of my gals, Drea. You're gonna know this about her now.
Receiving gifts.
She is receiving gifts is her like her number one love
That's
language.
like my plan. Is I'm gonna
She was like the only one.
some gifts.
How good is that to know about someone? So when Drea does a good job, and quality time was her second one. So it was like you sit down and you. Oh no, it wasn't quality time. It's words of affirmation.
Words of affirmation.
Tell her she did a great job
And
and give her a $5 Starbucks card or whatever. Let her pick out of the goodie bag. I mean, it's like I did that before I knew one time, right when we were doing the love languages, and she had done an amazing job on something. I was so proud of her, and I'm like, oh my God, I just want to tell you, I'm so proud of you for doing this, and I'm just gonna let you like pick a gift card because I'm so excited right now. And then like the next day, I found out those were her 2 love languages. I was like, I was winning yesterday, wasn't I? I mean, you must have been so happy. And she was. She was like, oh, that was like the best feeling ever. So when you know someone needs words of affirmation, you know to tell them they did a good job. If you know that they love physical touch, which is not my strong suit, but then you know
I
you
love
need to.
hugs.
You
Yeah.
gotta hug and
I'm like
stuff.
family oriented. I
Just
love
do
quality
it.
time and I love hugs. I love giving hugs. I think I love giving hugs more than receiving hugs. And I always give Drea a hug because she definitely is not.
So give the person who doesn't like physical touch a hug because they need to warm up. That's what I'm saying. Wait, what's yours?
Mine was quality time, and then my second one was words of affirmation.
I can definitely see
Words
that.
of affirmation. Yes. So these are things you should know about people, but you should definitely know it about your spouse. It will. I mean, if you want your relationship to improve in the marriage, learn the love languages. The book is like that thin. It's like 50 pages. It takes you a second to read it. And you get it anyway. You're like, oh, I already knew all that, but you didn't know specifically those things. For your kids, I know my kids' love languages. So obvious. Like I didn't need to read the book to know, but now I know, and I know what to do when they're.
It's going to be
needing
interesting
something.
when they grow up and you make them take it again to see like if
I
any
know.
of them change.
Oh, it's gonna be so good.
Yeah.
So good. So those are like my 5 things that I had written about. There's so much other. I feel like you guys in the office, Lindsay and Drea are kind of like, it is the 2 of you, kind of like leading the party crew.
Yeah.
They're if anyone watches The Office, they're officially like members of the party planning
what is
committee.
it?
This is what we call it.
PPC in
Party planning committee.
yeah,
in
in
the
the office.
Yeah.
Well, Dre and I had went up to one of our clients for a grand opening one week, like a few weekends ago, and we were flying home and we were kind of just like talking, whatever, and Drea was like, we should like plan some fun things for the office, and we it was just like an hour and a half flight, but we planned like 5 things, and
they're good.
Yeah, they're really fun,
they're really fun.
and we had, and like Drea pitched it to Kelly and like gave us a little like budget for like decorations and like food, and it's like really fun. We did,
And they always surprise us, which is the best thing.
yeah,
we
we
don't get
try
to
and
know.
keep it a secret. Like we'll try and come in early and set things up, or we'll stay late after everybody's left and set things up. But the last one we did was at Cinco de Mayo.
Yeah.
Yes.
And we we did a pin the mustache on Ryan, which was like we printed out a
It was
picture
so
of Ryan and put it up on our
a
door.
big Ryan head.
Yeah, and we cut out these little mustaches and blindfolded everybody, and they had to like try and pin the mustache on.
It was funny. You should have watched our Instagram story that day. That was funny.
And it was also like a Star Wars theme too, so we like came in Star Wars gear, and that's really fun. And we did an Easter. We like
Easter egg hunt.
we came in early and we set up Easter eggs like in the front, outside, and what else have we done?
They're doing a squat challenge, but
Oh, yeah.
2 out of 10 are the only ones doing it. But
Paulina
it's
and
great that
Drea
they do
are the
it. We all
champions,
watch them.
and yeah, they do squats every day,
And some people just take Instagram stories of them.
which that was me
Which is
yesterday.
great. Mhm.
I did not partake in the squats. I just filmed it.
We're doing a bachelorette.
Oh yeah, bachelorette bracket.
Yeah.
to figure out.
So that we've done that before, and that's fun, right? I
Yeah.
love it. And then like whoever wins, I just send a dozen roses with like one different color one, and I say, "Will you accept this rose on the card?" I think it's funny. That's the prize, people. That's the prize. So I mean, it's like have a little bit of fun because it gets really serious in here. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Like. It's so quiet in here because we are so plugged into our computers because we're a digital marketing company that it's like it gets quiet, and that can go on for a really long time, and you got to just break that silence. You got to break the silence, people. It's good for everybody, and yeah.
I think one thing that it actually like sits with me is that the first week that I was working here, we had a team bonding activity, the Curious Play Society one.
Oh yeah, that was
And
fun.
that always resonates with me because it was the time that I got to genuinely bond with the people that I was working with, because it was my first week. I was a little nervous about how I could get along with everyone, but that really broke the ice. So it's always good to have something, especially if you have new employees, like have some sort of activity happen within the first week so that they feel comfortable. And I think
it's a good idea.
important.
And Curious Clay Society needs a shout out because they have this little cart that they'll take to your like location,
really fun.
and then everyone gets to make a clay pot, like in a backyard, in a big conference room, in a parking lot. Like you can take it wherever. It's super cute, and then everyone gets to make a hands-on, just have fun.
It's a really fun experience.
Yeah,
it is.
It's cool.
It's a good team bonding thing.
Yeah,
Anyway.
That's really cool.
So that's it for us in our morning of company culture. And for us, it's like for me and for Ryan sitting right there, it's Facebook Live with Ryan and Kelly, and he's right there. You just can't see him. He's sitting right there though, listening to us and laughing at us. But it's really all about building a family. I mean, that's for us. We know the kind of company we want to have, and hopefully you all know the kind of companies you want to have or be a part of. And we love our clients. We love what we do, but most of all, I have to love the people that I work with because I'm with them every day, all day, more than my family. And if we're not having fun, I'm not having fun. So that's where I'm at with that. So anyway, thanks for joining today. I hope you all have a really fun Memorial weekend.
Happy Memorial Day weekend.
I know, enjoy. I will be in New York City brunching come Monday. Woo, woo. Over and out.